Thanks for watching. Today we are going to take a deep dive into Mozaik pricing. It is not that easy of a subject, so this is going to be a long one. Let's get into it. So the first place to go in Mozaik is to the pricing tab. Then we'll start exploring where to set up all the prices within Mozaik. So the first and most important part of setting up pricing is the template editor. So I'll click that and we'll open it up. I have quite a few different templates set up. We're just going to create a new one. So these little 3 lines here, you click that. This is going to give you all your current pricing templates. We're going to add a new one. We're going to call it test. Okay, so as you can see, I have no pricing within my test template. Let's go into the pricing items drop-down menu here. So this will give us all the different types of things that you can price out. So everyone's got their own pricing strategy. For the original setup, what you're going to want to do is just add every single thing in here that you could possibly have that's available in Mozaik, and then go about and delete the things that are not relevant to you. So we're just going to skip ahead to, I'll add every single one of these. Okay, and we're back. So we've added every single thing that you can add in the priceable items. I've also added the add-ons and the tax items and all these little calculators down here. So what I would recommend we're going to do is add a handful of cabinets, or just pick a selected kitchen that you've already drawn and run this pricing template. We're going to do that next. So in an effort to get as accurate as I can, we're going to add another room as well. This is on an existing job, but I want to have lots of different types of cabinets so that we have an accurate representation. Room type. Let's do this type of room. So sink, 1 door, 3 drawer, corner cabinet. Gonna add some wall cabinets. Then we're going to add some tall cabinets. And I think that'll give us enough to get things going. The next thing you're going to go to do is go to the tops tab. We're going to add some countertops. Auto build. It doesn't really matter how this works. We're just going to run it like that just to give us a test. We're going to set up automatic molding, crown molding, light rail, toe skins. That's my most common setup. I don't do the baseboards, chair rail, or ceiling ever, hardly. Okay, then we're going to go to the pricing tab again. And we're going to click this right here, this little 3 drop down. This is how you run a pricing template. We're going to click the one we just made, test. You can filter it per room if you want to just run it for the room that we just made, and per cabinet. You can do that. You can also name it manually. Test, run 1, which is helpful if you're running separate rooms. You can run room 1 or test room 2, however you want to go about that. So as you can see, based on having everything added here, we've dropped in a pricing template completely blank. So this is just going to give us a blank template on what we have set up already. I'm going to go through each area individually and show you how you can edit those pricing, the pricing for that area. It's going to be tedious, so stick with me, and that way you can get your own pricing set up. Once you have it set up, it's totally worth doing, and I would highly recommend setting it up. Then you're not doing manual management of the quotes. It's all done in Mozaik. So if you have a, see, the first thing that we had in our list, let's go to the template editor real quick, was this cabinets. And this is a list of cabinets. This description will be helpful for setting these up as well. So we have list of cabinets right here. We're going to X out of there. And the only thing that pulled up a price was wall single door. Let's check out our wall single door. How's this guy here? Price would be here. And as you can see, we've set it as $75. So that's where that price is coming up. You may set these up for each cabinet individually. We have a few different ways that we price out things. Under this price tab, you have price here, price per foot. So let's change this to $10 a foot. This is if you're pricing linear foot width-wise. This is priced per square foot. So let's say $30, or actually it would be opposite. Let's say $30 per linear foot and $5 per square foot. If you price your cabinets that way, you can have a percent upcharge, 30%. You can have your weight, which it will calculate for you if you have it in there. This way, these checkboxes allow you to indicate whether you want it to run to the pricing template. So if you deselect this, it will not run to the pricing template. Click OK. We're going to go back to the pricing tab. We did a few things further down the road, but we're just going to show you what we ended up doing. So as you can see here, we've now got a higher price in our amount here. So this is the full pricing setup. So it's calculating your linear foot price, your square foot price, and your general price with your add-on and your markup. So that's the price that you're getting right here. So if you set up each cabinet individually, you can just add that first price item cabinets here to your pricing template if you set up each one individually. So one important fact is when you're setting your pricing for your actual cabinets is you have to do it within the product library for it to continuously update the price for new jobs that are drawn. So you're going to need to find your library, go into your cabinets that you're trying to set up, and you're going to want to go to the price tab and set this up within this library as opposed to doing it in each job. If you do it in the job, it's not going to save it for all jobs. You're going to want to make sure that you do it here. We're going to go on to materials. So on the template editor and down to our test, we have list of materials right here. We added this all in manually. Drag this in from here. How this is priced out is in the materials, libraries, and materials. As you can see, I have 16mm 555 Nova White. And we're going to stretch that out. And we have a price, $39, 30% markup on each of those. So it's calculating how many, the amount and the quantity of sheets it needs automatically. So when you want to update this price, you hit cost each. You have your markup, how much you want to add on to that if you want to, your percent that you expect will be waste. So that's materials. Automatically figures out once you input out those items there. Inserts you have here. I don't have any inserts, so let's drag an insert in here. Well, I know I have Le Mans set up, so let's set that one up. So let's grab a corner cabinet, blind corner, Le Mans right. We'll drag this guy in here. We have set up the Le Mans inserts on our website, so you can purchase the Le Mans pullout on our website fully set up so you can just get all your drilling and everything. On a side note, so I have my insert pulled in here. I know I have this one set up, so we can just go back to our pricing. And then we'll go back to our inserts, refresh. Sometimes you have to rerun the whole thing. As you can see here, not set up. So let's go to inserts. Le Mans 2. I do have a price here, so let's figure out why that's not showing up. This must be an old insert in here. Clear that. Drag in our new. I want the right. Click OK. Okay, so now it's shown up. So what I had was selected an old Le Mans that didn't have the pricing set up. So we now have the pricing set up there. When you want to set up your inserts with pricing, you're going to go into the inserts here. And this is where you set up your pricing, right here. So you can set up your cost, a markup, and an add-on price. This could be you could set up your cost of what it's going to cost. You're going to put a 30% or 50% markup, and the add-on cost of how long it takes to install, like your labor fees. The next place is banding. So we have appliances here. You may sell appliances. You can add pricing to an appliance. I'll just quickly show you that. I don't ever use it. It's not like we sell appliances here. But you go to your products. You go to your appliance library. And you pick a type of appliance, and this is where you set your pricing for that. Same options as the cabinets. Banding. This is important. You're going to go to set up your banding, you're going to go to libraries, materials again, same as the other one, and you're going to go to edge banding right here, and you're going to set your cost. So this is going to give you a cost per foot, a markup, and your add-on price, and that's how you set up your pricing for that. Okay, next you have doors. So this is an indicator for pricing out all your doors. You're going to go to your door library. So doors, libraries, doors. Find your door that you're trying to price out. We'll just go through all of them here. So if you pick a traditional door, which that would be a miter door. Do I have any traditional doors in this library? I do not. Okay, so pricing for this would be all done right here in this little box right here. You have priced per door, so this is going to give you a per door price. Maybe if you're trying to price out how much it costs to drill the holes, you can add that price in right here per door. Alternatively, you have square foot price, and you also have a minimum square foot price right here. A lot of manufacturers of doors will have a minimum square foot price. So if you have a door that is 12 by 12, 1 foot by 1 foot, then they're automatically going to charge you 1.5 feet. So you want to make sure that this is set up right here. Then you can add your markup as well right there. This is the checkboxes for adding this to your price cost. And this portion right here is also an important pricing feature. This would be the labor. This is further down in the pricing template. We'll get into that after, but this is important as well. Make sure you take note of this. And it's also a big factor on how much the price changes. So that would be doors. Next, you're going to price your drawer boxes. So we're going to go drawer boxes right here. So libraries, drawer boxes. And you're going to set your pricing here. You have cost per drawer box. You have your markup and your add-on. You're seeing there's a trend here where you're getting cost, markup, add-on. That's pretty much throughout Mozaik. You'll get those 3 pricing options. You can also check a buyout door here if you don't manufacture them. All right, next you have applied panels. This is the exact same library as your door library. So if you have an applied panel, say this applied slab door, which is, well, it doesn't matter. It just needs to be any door. you're just going to get to the same menu here. So this would be a 5/8 cabinet part, and your pricing is all set up the same as a door. Shows up with the shades on. These are transitions, so it'll come back. So hinges, I just got tied up with a client. So for hinges, as you can see, your cost is right here. Markup, add-on. That's the same for hinges. We're going to the guides, a little bit different, 30% for markup, no add-on. And then you have down here, the cost is set up in each drawer guide individually. Going to go to pulls. So for pulls, you have cost, markup, and add-on price right there. Locks, this is going to continue right across. Cost, markup, add-on. Fasteners, we're going to go to joint templates. We're just going to select one. And as you can see, you have cost, markup, add-on for each one of those. So if you have Titus or you have Cabaneo or whatever other hardware you could have, you can include that right there. Part templates. This is giving you all the drilling for custom cabinet stuff, such as legs. If you're not using the new hardware setup, you might want to have a price for that. You have cost, markup, add-on. Closet rods, you have cost, markup, add-on per unit. So you can either decide per unit or you can decide per foot. So if you just want to say one closet rod 4 feet long is this cost, or if you want to price per foot, you just change this little thing here to per foot. Shelf pins, cost per, markup, and add-on. Drawer front fasteners. So this would be something like dowels that you would locate your drawer fronts with, or there's also specific hardware that you can use, such as this little guy here. It just kind of has a floating thread inside a larger, I think it's 20 millimeter or something, hole there. You can set up your cost, your markup, and your add-on. And then the new setup, the new hardware setup for legs, you can have this cost, markup, add-on as well. So that's all the hardware pricing for you to worry about. Okay, so we've gone through drawer front fasteners, spacers. I don't think we've done spacers yet. So if you're trying to get into spacers, you're going to go back to hardware. You're going to go guides. Spacers is right here. So you're going to go spacers and cost, markup, add-on. That's your pricing for that. Okay, fasteners, I've showed you that. Panel fasteners, we've shown you that. Now what you got is cabinet linear feet. So your pricing for this will be decided by your pricing in your template editor. So if you have, let's go to our template, test. So you have linear feet costs. This is all set up within this template editor. So you're going to pick your cost right here. So if you want to charge $30 a linear foot per base cabinet, you're going to edit it right there. If you want to charge a price per base cabinet, tall cabinet, or wall cabinet, you're going to add that price right here. Just making these random numbers up. Same thing, square foot price. You're going to add this number in here. If you're not using these, then just hit delete and get rid of it. And that gets rid of it. Okay, so that's all numbers. Then you have tall finished, finished area. So this would be fully finished areas. Anything that you could use your this to price out finishing costs and stuff like that. Add your price in there. So for toe skins, Mozaik doesn't necessarily price out toe kicks in any other way. I feel like this is probably the best way to price out your toe kicks. So add a price in there for that. You're going to have quantity of wall doors, quantity of base doors. Of course, there was setups for that in the door library itself, but you can set it up here if you would just wanted to say all wall doors, base doors, you're going to price them at $15 a door so that it covers, moving the material around and whatnot. Quantity of drawer fronts, quantity, this is ongoing. You can pretty much get a price for any quantity of anything. Quantity of tray boxes, and all this part is set up to just price out here. If you need to price it out, set your pricing up somewhere else. In Mozaik, it's typically marked as gray here. So in this case, all these ones are just normal, so they're set up right here. Adding your pricing for all of these, you have per foot of countertop, square foot of countertop, you have a number of countertop joints. So that would be if you had miters for a laminate countertop, or if you had a radiused edge and you want to price out for a radiused edge. Countertop cutouts, so it would be like a sink cutout if you charge a certain price for a sink cutout. Number of hinges, number of guides, pulls, locks, these are all pretty straightforward up until molding. So for molding, what you're going to have to do is, because as you can see it's not set up in pricing here, we're going to click OK. We're going to go to libraries. We're going to go to shapes. So as you can see here, if you click, you obviously can make your different crown profiles. I don't know if I've ever shown this before, so maybe I'll get into video for this later, but when you're setting up your different profiles, you have crown, you have light rail, this type of stuff. So when you're going to set up your pricing, it's going to be per linear foot, and this is where you're going to add your price. You're going to click this little pricing guy right here, and it's just opening it in my other page here, but then it's going to open up this page here to set up your pricing for linear foot, and you'll have to go into each one individually. We'll go crown and edit. Oh, sorry, not edit, pricing. I don't know why it opens on my other monitor, but then you just can edit all these and change them. So obviously I've selected a crown profile that's not set up. Let's change that. So we're going to go to the molding tab. I'm going to click my crown molding. This one is set up. So, oops, pricing. As you can see here, now it's showing. So like I said, sometimes you have to refresh, or you have to go like this and delete it and rerun it as you do new updates to it. So we're down to here. We've got our crown profiles, we've got our price per foot and how many feet there is. Okay, and then we have let's go back to the template editor. I think it's more clear that way. So under molding, we've got that sorted out. We have storage. So storage would be per cubic feet of actual cabinet interior if you wanted to price that out. Shelf frontage, if you're pricing out per shelf, it will give you a linear foot price of shelf frontage. So almost, if you imagine the banding of the shelf, how much feet of banding on shelves you're doing. Okay, so some of the trickiest and most hidden areas where you're dealing with pricing is, one, you want to go to your libraries and you want to go to your parts. This gives you a rundown of all the parts. This is where it's going to calculate how much time you're spending. And this is a very important factor to get your pricing to come out correctly. So what you want to do is make sure that this is quite correct. I feel like this is the most accurate way to price in Mozaik, because you can figure out how much per part each piece takes you for labor and machining, and you can change that number in here, and it really dictates how each piece is taken in the pricing template. So let's go click OK. So that's one important factor. Then you're going to go into this settings here. And this is where you set your labor price and everything. So you're setting your price per hour of machining, your handling time. These quantities change the price very significantly. So play around with this until you feel like you're right on the right track. How long per part, handling time per minute per sheet, shop labor, how many minutes per drawer box does it take, how many minutes per foot per cabinet, minutes per opening of cabinet, minutes per door, minutes per drawer box, minutes per finishing, your general overhead of your shop, and then your shop rate. Then these are the things where, do you want to include all these areas within all of this pricing setup here? You also have your amount of waste in the Optimizer. Do you want to calculate that? This one here is, it'll round to the nearest whole sheet. You probably want to indicate that. Hide your zeros, hide the cabinets without a price, and then merge identical library items into one with an increased quantity. So this is a very important menu to set up. So once you've kind of got all of this wrapped around your brain, you're going to go into Template Editor. You've gone through and you've decided how you're going to price things out. You're going to go through and delete all the ones that are not relevant to you. Maybe you're not pricing per cabinet, and you can delete all the ones that you don't need. This is the easiest way to set it up. The next thing you're going to do is go onto your add-ons. If I'm adding an add-on that is, let's just go like this, and we're going to change the description. Sorry, let's just drag that open. So I've got a delivery fee. Oops. That is a flat rate, or maybe it's not a flat rate, and you're pricing it $500 for a flat rate. Then you have the option of, maybe you want to just price in an add-on price with a delivery fee that is for the amount of cabinets, and you're going to charge $40 per cabinet for your delivery fee. Or maybe it is a standard delivery fee and then a quantity per cabinet. That might be a good way to set up your delivery. Then you have subtotal here, so you can add a subtotal. I have these throughout because it gives me an idea of, like, I'll show you my pricing setup here. So I have a subtotal set up here, and then it gives me, I can decide that that's the millwork package cost. Then I have my laminate countertops as a subtotal, and then you can have a total for everything. You can also add a deposit and a balance that's due if you just want to print this and give it to your client. So that's pretty much the rundown of the pricing setup in Mozaik. I think I covered all the areas. If I missed anything, leave it in the comments below, and we'll add another little amendment video to that. So thanks for watching. Have a great one. If you're eager to dive deeper into Mozaik, enhance your shop, or explore the possibilities with CNC routers and 3D printing, you're in the right place. Your feedback drives our content, so subscribe to stay updated with the latest tutorials and tips. Watch out for our next video.